All right, so 494 is the album presenting the Fabulous Ronettes from the Ronettes. This album came out in 1964 on, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Phil Spector and his partner's name put together, Phil's Feels label, produced by Phil Spector. I don't, I've never heard of him. Um, nobody knows anything about him. He didn't
No,
go on to do anything of note.
he's a nobody.
Yeah, but obviously this came from the U.S. This was their one and only album put like produced as the Ronettes.
Hmm.
Um, Ronnie Spector obviously recorded a lot more stuff and had a long career. So this was their debut and only album. Um, what were your thoughts on this one?
Hey, it's Kyle. Just jumping in real quick to ask, do you approve this groove? Let us know in the comments. Give us a quick thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation. It was okay. The songwriting I liked. The songwriting and arrangements I liked. I I'm sure we'll probably go into Phil Spector a little bit more when we have, there's a whole greatest hits of Phil Spector album coming up in a little while, so I won't say too much about
All
him
right.
here. But it, listening to his production is interesting, and it was
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable to listen to. My main takeaway from this album was that I'm a 39-year-old married guy with two kids in 2025 and not a lovesick 16-year-old in 1964.
Right.
I felt very little with this album,
Interesting.
really at all. I from an overview, like a high level looking down on it, I can say that I can recognize that the songs are well written and they're very well performed, and I can give it its due for that. But thinking back to
Mm-hmm.
that rubric in terms of my connection to the songs, to the album,
Sure.
or the percent of the songs on the album that I like, there wasn't much. It just fell flat for me.
Interesting. So we haven't talked about this yet fully, but like my musical palette includes this stuff in that working with my dad, stuff like that, like we he listened to classic rock radio, the stuff from when he was in high school and
Hmm.
in college years and stuff like that, for the most part. And then every once in a while, it's like, how many times can I hear this Leonard Skinner song? Like, I remember he used to say, like, man, they play this Leonard Skinner song like this time of day, like 5 days a week. You know what I mean? And if you listen to that much radio, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, he would switch it to like the golden oldies, like Motown,
Yep.
that version of radio. So I have a fond memory of at least one summer, headed into seventh grade when we remodeled our house, um, listening to nothing but golden oldies radio the entire summer. And when I say that, like people are like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you listen to an hour a day." No, like we were working all day, and I listened to it from 7 in the morning until like I turned off the light because the radio was always on in my house growing up. The
Yep.
radio was just on,
Yep.
even when we weren't there. So like, I mean, I had my 10,000 hours. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I had it. So when I heard some of these songs, I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah." So I just have a sweet spot for some of this stuff. One of the things that I couldn't help but think was I would love, and I didn't do it, but I would love someone to gather the lyrics and then control F and count the number of times baby
Yeah.
or you or
Yeah.
love
Love. Yeah.
is said in this, because even when you just read through the track listings,
Yeah.
walking in the rain, okay, got it. Do I love you? So young, different. The best part of breaking up, different. I wonder. What did I say is a Ray Charles song? Okay, but
Hmm.
then you get to side two of this record. Be my baby, you baby, Baby I Love You, How Does It Feel When I Saw You, and Chapel of Love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that when you talk about a cohesive piece, it was like this is generally the same song.
Right.
I mean, now to some extent, so many songs are the same song, right? But like this is literally like packed right together. Like
Mm-hmm.
that three song, Be My Baby, You Baby, Baby I Love You. Those are three back to back
Just
songs.
yeah.
I dug the cover of Ray Charles, What I Say. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was the
I
one
enjoyed that.
standout song that I had written down. Yeah.
I mean, that song
Mm-hmm.
slaps.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so um, yeah. Um, but the one of the I didn't know, and again, like I listened to the radio with this stuff on, so you take the best albums of the area, you distill those into a couple songs, those get played on the radio. So obviously, I'd heard Chapel of Love before, but not this version. The
Right.
version that pretty much everybody knows is from a group called the Dixie Cups, um, which I noted like this version from the Ronettes is much slower and
Yeah.
without the instrumentation, which I was just like, yeah, I could see why this one isn't the one that everybody loves. Like, there's no bells, like there's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just different. But that one was one that stuck out to me for sure. Yeah, I could appreciate this one. So what did you score this one as?
Two.
I gave this one a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, I have a soft spot for some of these songs. Like I can't help it. Like
Hey, thanks for watching. We'd love to know what you think of this album, so let us know in the comments. Do you approve this groove? And as always, a quick thumbs up helps a lot. Subscribe so you can see all 500 albums, and we'll see you on the next record.